Ayo Logan, what's poppin'? Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how I record my guitar tracks for my cover songs. I'm going to try to make this video short and simple, but still try to include any important info down the line. And what better song to use than the song Family Reunion by Blink-182. It's literally a 30 to 35 second song. It's quick and easy. Let's get to it. Alright, so I opened up Logic and I started a brand new project and saved it. I'm doing an instrumental cover just for copyright reasons, and I don't want this video to get flagged due to the very family approved lyrical content. So once you decided a song to cover, there's a few pointers that needs to be done before you press record. Basically, the first thing you need to figure out is the tempo of the song. So when you're doing any trackings, you need to have a metronome in order to stay on beat and keep in time. And in order to do that, you need to figure out the tempo of the song. So how do I figure out the tempo to a song? So there's two ways I do this. One, if I'm using Logic, I would go to the mastered file, or in this case, I'm going to use the drum track, for example. You're going to want to go to your effects panel, head down to metering, and select BPM counter. And what this does is you're going to play the track, and it's going to match the tempo it's counting. So I'm going to press play, and let's see where it goes. So yeah, it changes down the line, but for the most part, it's 76 BPM, or beats per minute. So that's the closest to the exact tempo of the actual song itself. What I ended up doing though, in this case, now this isn't really something that I would recommend, but I took that original BPM, which is 76 beats per minute, I took that number and multiplied it by 2, and I ended up going with 152. Just the way it tabbed it out, it's just so I get 4 beats per measure and not just 2. I don't know. This is my video. Screw you.
Hey guys, with me being an idiot, I forgot to explain the second method I use to find a tempo to a song. Now this isn't a method I would use anymore, but it is a great alternative, and that is through a website. So if you go to songbpm.com, type in the song you chose to cover, and it'll show you the original tempo the song is in. It also links you to the official links to their Spotify or their Amazon or Apple Music and all the other platforms. Alright, back to you, Phil.
So once you find out the tempo of the song, you're going to practice the song as much time as you can. Take a couple hours of your day. Depending on the song, there's songs that you can learn in a couple minutes, or there's songs that'll take you a couple weeks. This would be a good opportunity for you to figure out what tuning the song is and what key it is in. The key of the song is in A major, and the tuning for the song is in E standard. Now, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm using my ESP LTD H250 that's tuned to half step down tuning, but I just add my capo to the first fret, making it standard tuning. So once you're comfortable enough to actually start tracking, you're then going to want to check your levels to make sure there's no clipping or any weird feedback in the background. I use my Focusrite Scarlett Solo to check my levels, and it is a game changer. Also a good time to figure out what tones you want to use. Everyone asks what tones I use for all my videos, so it usually depends on the project, or it depends on the track itself. It depends on what kind of sound you want to go for. So I have a number of different plugins that I would use for my guitar tones and bass tones. So I have both bias amp and bias effects from Positive Grid. I have a few of the Tone Forge plugins from Joey Sturgis Tones. And most recently, I just got the Fortin Nameless Suite, and holy shit, does that sound good. So I'm going to be using the Tone Forge Ben Bruce plugin, since it has high gain sound, and I think it matches really well. For bass, I'm using Bias Amp, and I have the GK800 amp model here. Nothing too fancy. And then for the MIDI drums, I have Mjolnir drums from Solemn Tones, and I like to use Maxime's preset that he had going on here. Little disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I bought these products myself. These are just the ones that work best for me. You also want to know how many guitar tracks there are in the song. I like to have a minimum of 2 guitar tracks. So in this case it would be the rhythm guitar tracks, so one on the left and one on the right. In this song there is 4 guitar tracks. There's the 2 rhythm guitar tracks, and then later on there's also going to be an acoustic guitar portion. So that's another 2 tracks on the left channel and the right channel. So once you feel comfortable enough to start tracking, that's when we can get going here. Alright, so I have my countdown set up and my metronome is clicked on, so perfect. And make sure your guitar's in tune also. Alright, so let's start off with the left channel. There was a little mistake here. Let's do again. Let's do that one more time. There was a couple mistakes here, and this is a normal thing. And of course I dropped my pick. So that's as best I can do for now for left track, and I'm happy with it, so let's head over to the right channel. Let me do that one more time. I wasn't personally happy with it. Alright, so that's the electric guitar portion. I'm not going to go too depth on mixing just because with different songs it's a different process every time with mixing, but what I will add though is you see this stereo output here. I like to make sure that I'm still leveled up and make sure that I don't go no more than -3 dB. So you see it down the line. So yeah, I like to make sure that the actual final mix is no more than -3, or if you're lucky enough, maybe -2.5, because that's where you're gonna leave it off before the whole mastering process. So yeah, that's it for the electric portion. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna get started on the acoustic setup. Alright, so this is my acoustic guitar setup. Now, my Yamaha acoustic does have an output, so I can plug it in if I wanted to, but I don't know, I always prefer miking it. It's much cleaner and has more natural sound. So I use an MXL 551 condenser mic. I have been doing a lot more acoustic covers over the past few years, mainly because they're easier to do live covers too. But in this case, this song does have an acoustic guitar to it, so that is what I'm going to add. So when you're doing the actual mic placement, try not to have your guitar too close to the mic or to the sound hole, because that's where all the low frequencies are going to be at. So you want to make sure that you're placed maybe 12 inches away at most. Like I said before, same thing with the acoustic as what we learned for the electric. Make sure that it's all leveled up. Whether you're using an interface or a mixer, you want to make sure that it's all leveled up to avoid any clipping. So it's going to be the same process. It is going to be 2 tracks, a left channel and a right channel. I've always done double tracking. That's the best method that works best for me. I know a few people that do quadruple tracking, so 2 on the left and 2 on the right. I prefer double tracking just because I don't want the guitars to like drown out the rest of the track. Is basically what I'm saying. Like, you want to make sure that it's all leveled out and nice. I did do a couple test takes beforehand, but let's see how we do. Let's do that one more time. I was clipping a little bit. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go to the right channel. Alright, now let me listen back and I'll make sure it's all evened out. Okay, I can work with it. So for acoustic guitars, I don't go too fancy with effects. I mainly just add an EQ and a compressor, and that's basically it. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this video and I'm gonna go ahead on the mixing. If you want to hear what the final mix sounds like, come back next week and you'll hear the full thing. So subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell button and you'll be notified for all my future uploads. If you like what you hear, give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any more questions, put them in the comment section. I'll try to respond. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later.